Hello everybody, hope you're doing okay and welcome to a place called Elstead Common in Surrey. Now, I've come out for a bit of an afternoon walk come run. I say run, I've been allowed by my physio to do a few sort of very short sort of tentative jogs. So I think I'll do something like 5 by 1 minute sort of walk jog within a walk. And as it's likely to be quite wet here, I thought it's an ideal opportunity to test out these Pegasus Trail 2 GORE-TEX shoes that I've just bought on the Nike 25% deal. So I got these for just under £100, but normally they retail at 130. As you can see that I've got a bright yellow pair, which is perhaps something a bit different. And I've already been out for a little walk in them yesterday, and it worked pretty well actually. As you see, it got them rather muddy, rather wet, but I kept my feet dry, so that was the main thing. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd weigh my socks first of all, and then come back later and go for a bit of puddles and stuff and see if they're the same weight when we get back. See if they've actually leaked in any water. Okay, so here are my socks, nice sort of Nike pair of racing socks. Let's see how much these weigh. So they're 37 grams. So a quick look at the shoes. So on the upper we've got sort of a mesh upper with obviously the GORE-TEX. It feels like the mud here is just sort of flaking off nicely from yesterday. And if I feel underneath the shoes, it feels quite lined there. You can sort of see how the design of these keep the water out. There's a bit of a bumper on the front and quite a rounded sort of front there. And then we've got a bit of a gusseted tongue, which I know pleases some people. You know, rather nice bright yellow. It feels quite neoprene-y, the tongue, so it feels like it would get wet. It wouldn't get too soggy, and nice and thin though. Traditional laces, and you can do the double knot there if you wanted to. Moving to the back, we've got a nice pull tab, or we've got it rather muddy, and a sort of little semi-gaiter here. Moving to the back, fairly a substantial heel canter there for a training shoe. And if we look on the back, we've got quite an aggressive sort of studded pattern, as you might expect from a trail shoe. These are quite a heavy shoe as well. I weighed these in at 410 grams in my UK 13, which probably makes them the most heaviest shoe I've got, but didn't feel quite as heavy as that sounds on foot actually. The midsole is the now traditional Nike React midsole, but it did feel quite sort of softer in these than say in the Pegasus 37, which I found rather harsh and firm. Because these haven't got the airbags underneath the forefoot, maybe just a bit more springy nature to them. So here they are on foot. I would say they're neither sort of narrow nor wide. I mean, I've got a very narrow foot, and had to see, you can see that I probably have to put in the laces a fair bit, but it's reasonably snug on the midfoot. Perhaps could do with a bit better look down here because of this thing at the front. There's not that many laces, but doesn't feel too bad. I've got very thin socks on as well, which probably normally with a shoe like this you might want to wear slightly thicker socks. It's okay for length. I've got my normal size UK 13. That feels fine there. There's a bit of a gap there at the back. That semi-gaiter there is a bit loose. No obvious pressure on the Achilles because of that. I do feel at the front there, if you were to knock your foot into a stone or rock or something, you get a bit of protection there, which is nice. Okay, I think it's set off now. I aim to do about 3 miles to see if I can find as much wet as possible to see how dry my feet can be kept. Okay, let's get going. Well, I've come a few yards off the road and I've come to a completely flooded part already, so let's see if I can tiptoe through this and see if I can keep my feet dry in these shoes. Well, not too bad. I must say I didn't go right through the middle of it, but feels like fairly dry so far. So I am now literally standing in the water here by the edge of the pond. so far my feet feel completely dry, so I think as long as I don't get the water level above the laces there, and even then it's looking quite promising. Let's see if I can tiptoe forward. I don't get too near the edge here because I go swimming. We turn around, rather nice view here. I certainly wouldn't attempt to do this in a normal pair of road shoes, so good so far. Okay, so it's now actually started to rain, and I'm on a rather sort of sandy trail here. I'm about to hit a really wet bit, so I think I'll try my first little run, see how it feels through here, see how I feel as well. I'm feeling a lot better actually, because I actually now can stand on my tiptoes on my right foot, which is the dodgy one, which is a lot better than it has been for ages. So I don't want to push this too much, but I want to keep my feet dry as well, so let's give this a go. See how wet it is here. I did cheat a bit there by going down the side of the wet bit. You don't want to volunteer to go straight through the wet bit if you really can avoid it, can you? Not too bad on the running. Going very slowly here. Alright, that'll do for my first one. So I've done 3 little 1-minute runs now, not too bad. I think my feet are fairly dry. The shoes feel perhaps just slightly a bit loose. Maybe I need to wear slightly thicker socks with them, or try and do the shoelaces up a bit more. But they're feeling quite nice actually. I think I'll certainly prefer these to the Pegasus 37s. I think for this sort of shoe, the main aim is to keep your feet dry, not necessarily to go fast. So in that sense, it's doing very well. And the grip's good as well. I'm on a very sandy surface. Very wet, of course, as you can see. And yeah, it's doing okay. Right, I think I need to head back now. I'll do a little run now, head back towards the car. I think it's about 3/4 of a mile away, and I'll report back there. Okay, see you later. Okay, so we're back from a rather wet 5k walk, come run with a few. I think I did about 6 or 7 1-minute little jogs. Not too bad. Leg held up. Nice soft surface, to say the least. Little sandy, boggy, wet, muddy, everything. So let's see how the shoes shaped up by first seeing how clean my socks still are. So here we go. You can see I've got a bit of mud on the top of my shoes for a start. But the actual socks themselves seem to be pretty much bone dry clean, aren't they, at the top there? Let's weigh them, see how much they come in. Okay, weigh test on the socks. They were at 37 grams before I went for a walk, and they are now 47. So they've only gained 10 grams of wet, and half of that is probably on the tops here, with a bit not exposed to the actual shoe. So that's pretty good. And the bit here that actually around your toes, they feel reasonably dry, not perhaps bone dry, but also a bit of sort of sweat built up there as well. So wrapping up this first look at the Pegasus Trail 2 GTX, I'm not quite sure what the one was. I presume that's the last year's Pegasus 36 GTX, which I had, which I quite enjoyed. So I think that was quite a reasonably successful run. I think the only thing I would say negative, that they feel a bit loose sort of width-wise. So I think I need to work out either to wear thicker socks or work out how to pull in those laces a bit more. Because I just felt if I was running, there wasn't quite enough sort of lockdown across the midfoot if I was actually running. But they certainly did pretty well in keeping my feet dry, and I certainly wouldn't have attempted that sort of run anywhere else. So I hope you enjoyed this little first look at those shoes. I'll continue to use them as I build up my own running. And thanks for watching. I hope you found this interesting, and look forward to seeing the next one. Okay, bye.